because you are trying to lay plans for a goal that's almost legendary in scope in your mind, I think. Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Untitled Tarot. Now, this is a general reading for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, whatever placement you're wanting to have a look at. And if you're not familiar with your placements, there is a link in the description below for a free birth chart. I recommend you watch, you're going to watch your sun sign anyway, we all do, but have a look at your rising sign reading as well. Or the sign of the ruling planet of your chart, and you're going to have to Google that one because I can't remember how to explain it. So, as a general reading rules apply. Timing is hardly absolute. Roles can be reversed. You know, I can be talking about somebody else and it may be talking about you and vice versa, but my readings are pretty personal, so that's normally not too much of an issue, although my last reading I just did flew in the face of that. Now, where my readings are different is, one, they are either for you in total or not for you. There's none of this take what resonates and leave the rest, because there is a past and a present in this spread, and if the past and the present don't fit, the reading's not for you. Go and look at your rising sign or your moon or your Venus or what have you. Venus is probably not a bad thing to look at the moment, with Venus being retrograde. Turning retrograde? Yeah, it's in its shadow period already, I think, as I record this. So, the other thing is, I would like you to ask a question. So, pause the video if you have to. Think about all of the questions that are around you. Focus on one of them, but be aware of them all, because the cards will answer what they want and not necessarily what you and I think is the highest priority. But do spend a moment to focus, because energy in, energy out. Hopefully, the energy that you donate by focusing is what I return to you in the form of an applicable reading. Fingers crossed, that's how it's supposed to work. Now, housekeeping, there's a link down there for a Facebook group where obviously I post all of these videos, just in case the notification bell is being a little bit temperamental, as it can be at times. But also I post all the videos about the astrologers that I watch, you know, the daily forecasts and the breakdown of the month and all that sort of thing. And if you like the video, click like, click subscribe. I'm a young channel, it really helps. That's all of my waffle, I think. Right, so let's bring the cards up. Now you've got an interesting selection of oracle cards here, Libra, and I'll be quite honest, as much as it gets me, this could easily be a love reading, but it may well be about something else. You have options at the moment, but there's something that you've been working on, something that you have been nurturing for quite some time that really does look like it's blossoming into something. We have the Queen of Pentacles in the How You Are Feeling card, clarified by the Sun card from the TV Tarot with Miami Vice. So considering that that is then underneath, this is a journey for you discovering more about yourself and discovering more about your own inner light, then yes, things are coming up roses, things are coming up beautifully. It requires further investigation. Now, I've no idea. That should tell you enough already whether the reading's for you or not. But I feel like you feel like things are really blossoming, but there's, you know, still something that you want to know about it. Whether that question is, am I comfortable here? Is this what I want? Is this the right thing for me? All those sort of questions, because if I can enjoy this, it will be good, is also a knowledge that's there. But with that Hermit card, I think you are asking yourself, can I actually enjoy this? So you have options at the moment. You have Seven of Cups, and it's almost like you need to look past, right? You need to look past all of the distractions. If you look here on this Seven of Cups, we have the moon, or maybe the sun, probably the moon, shining above the 7 cups. Let's move it so you can see it. And that is what I believe that your focus needs to be on. So there's an instruction there: ignore the chatter, follow your intuition. Because you are trying to lay plans for a goal that's almost legendary in scope in your mind, I think. We have the Two of Wands here with Adama out of Battlestar Galactica, but Adama from Battlestar Galactica looking out of a portal of his ship at the planet Earth, the planet that he wanted to get to. So, you know, your goal is within reach, assuming that that is the goal that you're aiming for. But you are wanting to stick within... Okay, you are wanting to stick within your own rules. So I don't know whether it's some of these options will take you outside of what you believe are your own rules, your own what is right and wrong for you to do. But that would explain that requiring further investigation feeling I was getting from that Sun and Hermit card. But it was... Yeah, there's an element of I need to stay true to myself here. And I think I need to follow my teachings. But I also caught between the contrast between the moon here and the earth here. It's how can I bring my teachings, my own personal rules, what I feel good about, into the material world? How can I take to the world my own insight and not be blocked by all the chatter and all the various many options? But there is a victory here for you to find. There's a victory here for you to start a whole new beginning with taking a path of balance, you know. So yeah, you've got to weigh everything up while remaining true to yourself. But do think, while remaining true to the rules that you set for yourself, are those rules still right for you? I know that's a mouthful, but yeah, this is what I do, this is what I don't do. Hard and fast rules. But are those rules still relevant to your situation and who you feel yourself to be? Because there is, in one of the oracle cards here, as I said, there's interesting oracle cards here, and I haven't talked about them at all now yet, have I? Don't let pride get in your way. But it is time to take action with this new moon in Aries card here. Now, on the bottoms of the deck, we've got, and this is why I say it might be a love reading, we've got Two of Cups. First clarification deck, Eight of Swords. Second clarification deck, Knight of Swords. I feel like you have the option of making some form of sacrifice, some form of, again, probably why it's requiring further investigation and why these options that you have can be quite so distracting. There is the chance of making some form of sacrifice in terms of unity. From this Eight of Swords, I mean, yeah, stress and anxiety, of course, but this person has locked themselves in a jail cell surrounded by the swords, blindfold and handbound. And I almost feel like they have put themselves there deliberately, which is one of the facets of the Eight of Swords. Oh, clarified underneath by the Eight of Wands. That's interesting. So 2 8s. So look up angel number 88 for whatever that is. But that's an underlying energy to the situation. I cannot remember what angel number 88 is. I do not know them off by heart yet, or ever. But I do want you to question all these options that are coming up. Is it a distraction? Is it not? Because that's a lot of lights on the way to the big main light of the moon. So there's things that can easily distract you, but I don't think initially you're going to know quite which is the right one. which again is explained by that Hermit. I'm not telling you anything that you don't know, I don't think. Right, so Oracle cards. The angel energy over the reading. We have the angel of power. The power of divine love protects and enfolds me. So there is an element of you are safe. You are safe, but there is change coming. There is definitely change coming. You are entering into the next period that is touching your present right now, is the Death card. Change. Change is coming. And you're coming from a really happy place. Now, I'm not saying that change means you're going to an unhappy place, just that the happy place is going to change. Because there's an element of justice. There's an element of being fair, making decisions coming up for you. And that figures. We've got Seven of Cups going on to the Justice card. That rather figures that if you have loads of options, you're going to have to choose one of them and choose your path. But I do feel that the very fact that you have this choice is a victory for you. And that is something that you need to remember. Because we also have, from the Queen of the Moon Oracle, abundance. Hunter Moon. Maybe that's a time signature. I've no idea when the next Hunter Moon is, or even what one is. I'll have to look that up as well. From the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, we have Ayezelel with loyalty. Underneath with Beleth, wastrels and vagabonds on here. But Beleth is also the card that the Eight of Swords refers to. Beleth is one of the kings of hell. Very good in love situations, very good at granting apocalypse, as in revelation. If she thinks you're worthy, they're beyond gender. So loyalty is definitely an issue here with you choosing. But I'm going to say loyalty to what and who, because of that element of don't let pride get in your way. Have you been loyal to someone who you don't need to be loyal to anymore? We've got that Justice card there. You know, maybe that loyalty is something that you have to decide so that you're sticking to your own rules. Are you being faced with the loyalty or what you feel is right? We have Gomery or Gremory. Now, although I'm familiar with Gremory in the other decks, I thought I'd have a look up in the Demon Tarot what Gremory represents here. And it says, for the divination, focus on finding and gaining new love or inspiration. So, with all these options, there's an element of look to the new. Now, I would say look to the new because you've got this Death card coming up anyway. And then we have Buffonite. Now, it's a completely mythical substance as far as I'm aware. Buffonite, or toadstone, is a magical stone said to grow within the head of a live toad. The stone, harvested from a creature who was used as an ingredient in many poisons, was said to be a powerful antidote. But the divination of this card in the book is find the beauty in what other people feel is ugly. But there's interesting that there's even the need of the antidote here, especially when we have Beleth pulling in your. I really do feel. I mean, with these Oracle of Heaven and Hell cards, the Goetia and the Shem Hamepharash are sort of set in opposition to one another because obviously one is the reversal of the other on each card. But I rather feel that Beleth is the one on your side here with the Eight of Swords being on the bottom of the deck. So it's, yeah, maybe you do need to sacrifice something, and maybe that's something that you need to sacrifice is a loyalty. Don't stick to the loyalty just out of pride. Like I said, you need to be testing Yeah, here's the card. I'll see if I'll get it to focus the camera a little bit better as well. You need to be testing all of your rules and saying, hang on a minute, are these still worth it? So let's have a look at them. So maybe this isn't a love reading after all, or if it is, there's certainly a lot of questions within the relationship being asked. But I rather feel this is more the influence of a loyalty to a friend, loyalty to an associate, loyalty to maybe a business partner, or loyalty to somebody outside of matters of the heart. Because with the Two of Cups on the bottom of the first deck and the Lovers, Ace of Cups, Ten of Cups, through the time that you've just come through, could it be that that loyalty is interfering with matters of the heart? In fact, I got the Romance Angels card out ready because, yeah, this camera's not going to focus at all, is it? I got the Romance Angels out because Venus retrograde, so I knew that relationship stuff was going to come up. Oh, okay, we have a winner. Let's and it's this one here, which says, oh, weird, that's exactly the same one came out for another reading. Codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life. So again, it's that test your rules, test what is right for you, because I really do feel that links with that whole don't let pride get in your way card. Right, anyway, distant but relevant past. So there was a time before where you had almost, it felt like your wishes were granted, but the world seemed really confusing because your wishes were granted. Because there was this new information just put to you to say, see the world this way. And you're like, oh, that's beautiful. What? Eh? What? And things started changing rapidly, so giving you a really good forward driving force. Angel number 44, Four of Cups. Four of Wands. So you rushed head forth into a commitment previously, a commitment that was a lot of fun and did feel guided at the time. And it was almost like there was some news that pushed you towards this. Now with this Page of Wands in this particular deck, as I've said on other readings, it always makes me feel like the page is lifting that sword up, very much like by the power of Grayskull. You know, it's so it was like a bolt from the blue that really empowered things. Because someone else is, I didn't even notice this, in your how other people are affecting you, someone else is causing you a lot of stress or is going through a lot of pain and heartache. And I think that is, yeah, someone else is going through a lot of pain and heartache about a dream or a love that they are attached to, and there is change coming for them. Well, if that's the 6, what's this one? 9, not 8. Although I'm going to stick with what I said for it initially, because it feels right, because it going from the 8 to the 9 on this, it's just a sense of rebirth. There's that, yeah, I'm nearly towards the end of this lesson, but you weren't. You dropped into a commitment that felt guided, even if after a while felt a little bit boring. But more recently, we have the Ace of Cups clarified by the Queen of Cups, and I think that's the Sisters out of Charmed, and the Page of Coins. So you, whatever that old commitment was, in the more recent history, you leveled up. You leveled up, whether it's a dream or a love relationship. It was something that it felt magical. It was, I don't want to say that sense of destiny. I do want to say that sense of magic, that sense of energy in this whole new situation, in this whole new direction that you plunged head forth into. However, it did rather appear to be a little bit of a burden at the same time, but caused you to transform, caused you to really change, I would say, your priorities, change your passions, both being ones here, change your attention, attentions of what was important in life, which again is why I think at the moment you are asking yourself those questions of, are these rules still relevant? Because since your attentions have changed, which rules have grown since your attentions have changed, and which are from an age ago that don't need to be there anymore? Well, come on, camera, you can do this. It can't do this. Right. So there was a choice that you have been faced with more recently, and I think it was a choice where you go, yeah, I'm sticking with this, I'm joining with this, which created a reasonably good harvest, but there was a certain, maybe there was some news, or there was a certain feeling of, yeah, it's a good harvest, but, and there's that element of, like it's tainted somehow, like it's just, yeah, this is fantastic, like what I was getting from this Sun card actually. Yeah, this is fantastic, this is exactly what we wanted. Now, why did we want it? You know, it's good, but because let's face it, she stood there in front of a massive pot plant, or several pot plants, but she is independent. She is stood very much on her own and very much in control. I mean, the big, I assume that's a bong in her hand. That big bong, the fact that it's a glass thing ready to hold liquid, keeping the emotions, you've come together. The harvest is a bit sort of, yeah, I'm not entirely sure about this. But the emotions are slightly put to one side while you are standing in your own power within this partnership, friendship, whatever this union of the Lovers card is. Now, it led to a good time. I don't mean that in a facile way. I mean, 10 of Cups. It was better than what you thought it was going to be. And very, very grounded. It took you to whole new shores, but this is where you are at the minute, on whole new, you're suddenly in whole new territory after all this happiness, and we're going, right, what do we do now? So bear in mind, this could be a relationship, this could be a relationship with a small R, business partner, friends, what have you. But there is a victory and a new beginning underlying your choice right now. But you've got to go with what feels true to you. But before you confirm what feels true to you, double check the rules that you govern what is you. I'm brought to mind the Meatloaf song, I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that. Why won't you do that? Well, because I'm never going to, because I never have. That's not a reason. Because I'm never going to, because I find it icky and I find it wrong, and it's, you know, there's various moral complications with doing it. Fine, that's a reason. You know, that's a rule that can still remain valid. But no, I don't have tattoos because I never have, or no, I'm not going there because I've never gone there and I don't want people associating me with there. And it's, well, no, maybe you could go there because you are you, and the fact that you go there doesn't change who you are. So examine all those rules that you are defining yourself by. Like I said, don't let pride get in your way, and don't let loyalty purely because of the sake of you've always been loyal, because there is a decision coming up, a decision that will be recognized, but there will be conflict over it. You have got to decide what is fair and just, And for you to decide what is fair and just, you have to decide what rules you are operating by in the first place. You know, double check your rules, then you can decide what's fair and just. Internal first, external after. As above, so below. As within, so without. And I also think you need to worry about moving forward under somebody else's direction. Because in this Three of Pentacles here, as far as I'm aware, you should be the craftsman, not the priest here who's having his moment of illumination, or the monk here who's saying do this, do that, do the other. You know, this has got to be your moment of recognition, your control, not theirs. Because that way you get to define your own power. Your ships will come in with this, but again, be balanced. But there is a time to act, and the time to act is really quite quickly. You've got to come to make this decision, because as I say, you're going into a period of change. You're going into a period of change where you're going to have to look within, and maybe you're going to be on your own for a small, well, when you make these decisions, you need to be on your own. I'm not saying you're going through a period of life on your own, but you need to take that time to yourself to say goodbye to something, for one thing, but to work out what wish fulfillment in this situation would actually mean, to work out what will feel good and who is directing your actions, because you need to be directing your actions coming into this Emperor energy here. So straight after, if you followed all of that advice, everything that you was wanting to nurture, Queen of Pentacles here, Queen of Pentacles here, is going to be confirmed or affirmed, I think, affirmed. But again, it is upon investigation, because Queen of Pentacles, but it's her out of murder, she wrote. You know, there's Jessica Fletcher. So it's something that you've had to examine to nurture, but the world is operating in your interest as long as you are not trapping yourself and not reacting to your lower natures. So, Devil card, I always clarify the Devil cards. Let's see what the Demon Possessed Tarot has got to say. Clarify. Oh, okay. So we've got the Five of Wands. So yes, there will be mental conflict. Right. I see. With this investigation, this mental conflict that you will still be having, even after you have declared your own power, you have to dive into it. You have to explore it. You have to go, why am I having this mental conflict? And again, I think it's because two internal rules of yours are clashing with one another, and you have to decide which to keep and which to get rid of. So that is why I'm saying use the opportunity now to, oh look, it's in focus. Use the opportunity now to examine those interior rules by what you go by, and you will find the future pathway a hell of a lot easier. Yes, because again we have Beleth's blessing, the Eight of Swords, but what I feel there is I'm feeling not the stress and anxiety. I'm actually feeling that that's a beautiful interlocking, interweaving pattern of swords of information. So again, there's that energy of Beleth. And that is, I used the Tavaglione, this third clarification deck. I was saying, show me the mystical and spiritual undertones of what's going on. But above that, we have the Chariot, that bringing two disparate things together. So like I say, those two rules that are clashing with one another, you have to find a way to move forward to make them agree with one another. That's why you need to explore your rules at the moment. But take flight with your intuition as well. So I don't know who that is. I'm going to assume it's Sabrina. I might be wrong. It might be, her out of Bewitched. Can't remember her name. But I'm going to assume it's Sabrina. Although it says B and J there, so maybe that's, mind you, that's indicating the two towers as well. So it could be Sabrina, but you are going to, sorry, I'm getting distracted there. I know. Let's call it Sabrina. You're going to forge these two forces together using your intuition. That's going to interlock everything together beautifully. And you are going to be able to use your wisdom. And we have here Chokmah, the right eye of the tree of life, the Sephiroth of wisdom, to declare victory here. Again, 6 of Wands in the potential future, 6 of Wands in the real future here, which gives you, it gives you a new sort of dream, one that you'll go, okay, done with that one now. Let's try out this new one. So there is that progression. I'm not saying that this new dream is the answer, the thing that will really fire you up, as you have been fired up recently. But you have been fired up recently, but all the time there's been just that slight undertone of, something's not right. I don't know what it is, but something isn't right. So let's have a look at what your fears are. Right. That adhering to your own rules will cause heartbreak. We've got the Hierophant, again, like I was saying, the Hierophant under here, with the, as the spiritual mystical undertones. El Papa, I think it's called. Is it Papa? Yeah, paper. Il Paper. Clarified by the Three of Swords and then the Fool. So is there an element of, yeah, I don't want to stick to my own rules and create a whole new beginning that will hurt me because things have been going reasonably well. But you have to dive into this conflict to move forward and find victory here. You have to dive into this mental conflict to really be able to express your own power here. So there is conflict coming. There is a mental conflict coming. You have to dive into it to come out the other side. Because on the other side, as I said, we've got abundance. And I've just chucked a card on the floor. So, yeah, examine the rules, Libra. So, if this means anything to you, comment down below. Press the like and subscribe buttons while you're there, if you please. I'm a young channel, it helps. Your next reading will be the full moon readings. There should be some other things coming up over the next couple of weeks, assuming I get the time. I've covered all the oracle cards here, haven't I? Yes. So, yeah, good luck. Use this time to examine the rules that you run yourself with. You know what it is that I do that, that's me. I do that, that's not me. You know those rules. Just check that they're all up to date, that they don't need any revision. All right? Cheers.